So this guy gave away a penalty in his first game, and it's finally time for him to start another match, and he's got a concussion for 2 weeks. It's not been my best signing ever. Hello everyone and welcome back to more Careering Onwards with me, Mr. Grand 2, here at Liverpool, and we have got first of all today a game against Red Bull Leipzig in the Champions League, and then Manchester City, who have been our title rivals throughout our time here at this team. Is this the year though that things finally start to change? It's certainly looking quite good. Obviously the story so far in the save is that Man City are really good and they won the Premier League 7 years in a row. We finished second behind them in our first year at Liverpool 2 years ago, and then last season we finished in fourth, although only 5 points behind City, and well, we got jumped by United and Spurs on the final day of the season. But we play them again today, and it's in a situation where we are top of the table. We are top of the table with a 3-point gap on the team behind us, which is Tottenham, and Man City have had a struggling, they struggled at the start of the season, and they are down in 7th, only at 16 points. I say only, but 16 points, 9 points behind us. Which means in the games since last time, we have actually done relatively well, still undefeated in the league this season. We did drop some points though for the first time, drawing 1-1 with Arsenal. We were very unlucky. We had 2 goals ruled out for offside, which, I mean, they were offside because we've got VAR, but it seemed quite tight. Looking at the replay, they took the lead through Alexander Philp, not Philip, he's not French, it's Philp. I was just reading it wrong the previous 7 years or so, but he scored just before half time. But then after the break, Marko Vujovic equalised for us to, well, give us a point that was the least we deserved on the balance of play. So a little bit disappointing, but then we did have an excellent performance, very controlled performance against our former employers, Leicester City, a 2-0 win. Colin Nicholson scoring again, Marko Vujovic scoring again, and then that was coupled with Tottenham losing 2-0 to Leeds United, which certainly helped us out a fair bit. Thank you very much for that one, Leeds, and as I said, means we've got a 3-point gap at the top of the Premier League going into today's episode. But first things first, we're going to be playing Red Bull Salzburg. They are bottom of our Champions League group. We are at home. Logically, should be an easy win, but then we did lose to Vitesse Arnhem, so maybe not. We're going to give the same team a go, though. Give them a chance to show what they can do, which means we're going to have Angus Gunn in goal. Jamal Lewis is going to be at left back. Joe Gomez at right back rather than our new signing Moraldi, because yes, he's got himself injured, had a bit of a fall in training. Lefebvre and Girardot are therefore going to be the centre-back pairing, the 2 other young French centre-backs that we've got, who are not as good as Pierre Faucher, but are still pretty good. Girardot especially has developed quite a bit since he's really played. He hasn't really played much for me at all, but he's getting a start today. Bentancur is going to be in midfield. Unfamiliar for him to be in that position and also in the second string, but he's been fully usurped by Salvador. Fernandez is going to be in there as well as Pedro. Fignato going to be on the right hand side with Richard on the left. Obviously the 2 strongest points of the front 3 is the strongest aspect of this, because Sinchek is also going to be starting up front for us. We've got Gravenberch on the bench, Mick Hogan on the bench. He's got 10 pace now. Still his weakest attribute, but at least he's slightly quicker. He's been working hard. Frederick Jacobson also on there as well, he's really good. And arguably we didn't need to sign Sinchek at all, but I mean, 3 good strikers is better than just 1. It's a very interesting formation from Salzburg. They're quite narrow, quite a few familiar faces. Jack Grealish plays for them in Austria. Cagliardini, formerly of Inter Milan, of course. Karim Adeyemi, a player who we have considered signing. Did he go to Bayern Munich or something? I don't remember that. He went to Wolfsburg. Yeah, we considered signing him when we were at Monchengladbach and at Leicester. He's now playing for Salzburg. Takefusi Kobo, formerly of Real Madrid, I believe. Yes, he does. He starts the game at Real Madrid. Done quite well for them. But this should be relatively straightforward when you think about the attacking talents that we've got still, and this, they're the second choices for the role. But all 3 of our front 3 are exceptionally quick and exceptionally technically gifted, so this should hopefully be 3 points. Let's get it done and take a big step towards qualification for the knockouts. Highlight early on, Joe Gomez picks the ball up, puts it across, and Pedro is there for his first goal for the club. Very nice start indeed. A very poor goal kick from the Salzburg goalkeeper, and easy stuff from Gomez. Easiest cross he's ever going to put in his life. Sinchek kind of makes a mess of it, but Pedro's there to grab his first goal in a Liverpool shirt. This could get quite ugly for Salzburg very, very quickly. Indeed it does. Vignato slams the ball in. It must have hit. Has Sinchek done a David Nugent here? Richard puts the corner in, and then Vignato, he's literally done a David Nugent. He's done a David Nugent, completely stealing the goal that was totally going in from Vignato. And he's also apparently not offside, but, well, I mean, they all count, I guess. Seems very harsh on Vignato, denied a glorious goal there, but, well, Sinchek misses another opportunity. Things have calmed down a little bit since then, not quite the absolute rout that we're maybe expecting from those first couple of highlights, but we're still looking very good coming forwards. Again, Pedro misses out, it's been cut out, and, well, but we've won it straight back. Sinchek's in. It's a weak effort from him. Richard, corner in, cleared by Jack Grealish. It's only gone as far, it's gone in. It's not going to count though. Vignato denied a goal, first by having someone steal it, now by it being offside. Free kick from Richard, it's bouncing all over the place, and this one has gone in. Apparently it was Pedro, a bundle of bodies. No idea for sure who it was. The game is saying it's Pedro. Let's have a look at the replay. It's been, well, how do you prove that's Pedro? It's just, there's like 4 of them all going for the same ball. I mean, someone's onside. Someone's like Lefebvre's gone for it. Apparently it was Pedro though. I wouldn't testify to it. Still not half time yet, and we are 3-0 to good. This is safe, isn't it? It's a good warm up for the game against City. We've scored again. Vignato's finally got the goal his performance deserves. He deserves at least 2 goals by this point. But what has Richard done there? He's gone in. He's kicked it. It's gone along the goal line and hit the post. How has that not gone in? Vignato with the follow-up, but that's absurd. Well, what an absurd half of football. Salzburg have had no shots on target. No shots at all. No shots at all. They're 4-0 down. It's not been a pleasant trip for them. Corner in from Richard. It's in again. Sinchek has his 3rd goal in a Liverpool shirt. 5-0. I mean, the job was done after the first goal went in, really. You have to feel bad for Red Bull Salzburg at this point. What would have happened if we played the first 11? I mean, it could have been some kind of record. We're still on for it. Pedro goes for another shot. This time it's wide. Right, we've got half an hour left. It's a good time to bring on some of the even youngsters to give them some game time. Mick Hogan, let's put his 10 pace to work. Hogan with a throw into Sinchek. Sinchek's on a hat-trick here. Hogan puts the ball into no one in particular. They brought on Michy Batshuayi. They've got some famous faces of years gone past of Salzburg. It's not been enough for them here on Merseyside. Hogan gets it back, goes to Fernandez, and it's come out to Joe Gomez, who's done very well on the right-hand side. He's been fouled. I think it's a free kick. No, it's a penalty, and Pedro's going to take it, and he's scored it. I mean, if I was Marco Sinchek, I'd been grabbing that ball, going for the hat-trick there, but Pedro instead gets it, and, well, he's on a hat-trick, isn't he? He is on a hat-trick, so he got there, he got priority. My hat-trick's more important than yours. And with that in mind, we're going to take off Sinchek. We'll bring on Jacobson for the final few minutes, and then I'm going to bring on Gravenberch or Velo. So Pedro's a bit tired. We'll bring on Gravenberch, who's not played yet this season. And nothing kills a game like a few late substitutions. Liverpool 6, Red Bull Salzburg 0. Absolute total domination. They have not had a single shot all game. 35% possession as well. We've had some dominant performances in this save, particularly with Liverpool, but that was something else. That was something else. Well, very good warm up indeed. Pedro getting his first 3 goals. He looks sort of slightly scared by the whole experience of being a professional footballer, and just generally his beard tone and hair don't match as well. Remember when they said they were improving regen faces in the trailer? They looked really good. I thought, yeah, this is great. They finally look more realistic, but in the actual game they just look as as bad as they have done for the last few years. Anyway, Man City in 3 days' time. Let's carry on this good form. I would love it if we beat them. I would love it. Lunchtime game then on BT Sport, I assume. They usually have the lunchtime game. Whether they still exist in 2027, I have absolutely no idea. Stuart Atwell back, a man who, of course, famously can't even work out when the ball has gone in the net, so that's reassuring. So then back to the usual team for this one. Alisson, Rafinha, Voucher, Van Dijk, Alexander-Arnold, De Jong, Salvador, Paqueta, Salah, Vujovic and Nicholson. We know them by now. Sinchek is a little bit upset, not because he got subbed off for only getting 2 goals when he was on a hat-trick, but because he got a 10 rating in training, and I told him, well done, and he said, I'm not prepared to go over that again. So, I mean, okay, he doesn't take praise well. Now, obviously, the last time we met, it was a 7-2 win, so anything like that again today would be nice, wouldn't it? Ben Chilwell's not playing in this one. I can't remember who they had up front last time. I think it was Martinez, but João Felix is in central midfield today. They are matching our formation, which indicates they've learnt their lesson from last time. So we know their threats, but we did score 7 against them, so there's quite a lot of pressure to keep up that level of performance. But at the Etihad, anything from this would be fantastic. Salah, corner in, Paqueta's hit the bar, that would have been fantastic. Of course, we've got to try and maintain the gap. We have to. There's an incident. Rainier has been sent off for fouling Paqueta. They are down to 10 with a huge chunk of the game to go, 60 minutes to go. We need to get something now. We have to try and push forward and win this one, given that we've got the advantage for such a long amount of time. And just the psychological advantage of winning a game like this would be huge. And just keeping the pressure on Spurs. That's what we didn't have last season. Vujovic across, it's bounced out to Paqueta, it's come all the way to Rafinha with Salah. He's still going. Paqueta again. Across, Vujovic is a brilliant save by Ederson. Of course, last season, for the most part, we were constantly behind City. Every single time we had a chance to go above them, we didn't take it, or we immediately sacrificed what little advantage we had. So we need to try and just keep a lead and maintain that lead. I'm not happy with the performance out there. We have played relatively well, certainly from the stats we're doing well, but we haven't found a breakthrough yet. Obviously Ederson is a far better goalkeeper than Bazuna is, with respect. 60 minutes gone, nothing in this second half at all. Changes are going to need to be made. Is it time for Sinchek? Well, there's a free kick and they've scored, obviously. Total domination of the stats. Every highlight has been us, every chance has been us, and Fabio Silva scores from a free kick because, well, I don't even need to say, you've seen this game before, they've only got 10 players. Right, what change are we going to make? Apparently Trent's had a poor game, so Joe Gomez, who did so well against Salzburg, can come on. They're immediately a highlight for City, they nearly go 2-0 up. And then we've got to change the front three, I think. Sinchek on, he's been training well. Get him on, we haven't seen anything from Colin at all. Vujovic and Salah, which one stays on, which one comes off? I mean, it's difficult. I'm going to leave it for now. Wait till the final 10 minutes. Nothing happening. Here we go, here's a highlight, but it's City on the ball. City coming forwards. João Felix is not offside. It's a good save, but Joe Gomez has ruined everything. Absolutely everything. How is he not offside? He's being played on. It's a fantastic save from Alisson. And Joe Gomez, why did I put him on? Why did he put him on? He's holding his hands up as if to say, oh, well, you've literally just kicked the ball for no reason. It was going wide. It was going out. And we've got a free kick, which we've scored, Van Dijk, but it's too late now, I think, with 5 to go. It's too late. Richard off the bench, free kick in, Virgil van Dijk, 2-1. No highlights until the end of the game, I would imagine, at this point. There is one. It's City, though, on the ball. Pressure on them, of course, but they're gonna probably find a way to get it forwards. John Stones playing it forwards. He's given it away to Richard, though. Sinchek on the turn, ball, find anyone, Rafinha, Salvador, that was the chance, and it's done. We're going to go very attacking for the final few minutes of injury time. It's not going to make a difference, and we have, well, at least it's not them that's gaining an advantage over us from that one. Manchester City 2, Liverpool 1. How we have lost that, I don't know. Well, I do know. It's because Joe Gomez is an absolute moron who will never play for this team again if I can help it. Training tomorrow, everybody. What did you just do? That was dreadful. I mean, we missed chances in the first half that we should have converted, and then the late chance from Salvador was pretty difficult. But they only had 10 players for most of the game. That was bad. That was bad. Well, there we go. We're not unbeaten in the league anymore. We have dropped points, and Tottenham, given their slightly superior goal difference, can very easily go above us. They're playing Barnsley today, who are down in the relegation zone, just 3 points. So you would imagine, let's just see, you would imagine that would be another 3 points for them, and they'll be going back above us. Unsurprisingly then, they do just that. A 3-1 win over Barnsley. They go back above us by virtue of goal difference, and every advantage we had over them from their loss to Leeds has now gone. And look who's right behind us now. 6 points behind us, but back up to third. It's Manchester City. I love it so much, but it was our own fault, really. Oh, it was our own fault. But anyway, chance for some immediate revenge next time. It won't be immediate for me, but it will be immediate for you. Well, you know, if I'm doing daily uploads by this point, which probably not, so you probably have to wait another day. But anyway, I'm going to go quite the way in now because we've had 2 episodes very close together. We want to go a bit further through this season, a lot further through this season. So I've got my eye at the moment. It is subject to change, of course, depending on the League Cup especially. But at the moment, our 2 games after Christmas are Tottenham and Manchester City, which, well, could well prove to be very decisive. So that is why I'm aiming to come back next time. Obviously, the schedule is subject to change, but it will probably be somewhere around December. We will go through the whole of November, and I will see you towards the back end of the year. Probably those 2 games. We'll see what happens. But there we go. Thank you very much for watching. Leave a like if you enjoyed it. Make sure you let me know what you think is going to happen in the rest of the season. Are we going to win the league? I mean, it was looking good, but then it was looking good last year and the year before, and we know how those ended. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss what happens, and I will see you next time.